All right, so one of, if not my all-time favorite thriller author, is going to be Riley Sagar. So when he had a new book announced, I was over the moon. I say new book because I didn't learn the title of it until the day it was released and came out. I just knew a new book was coming. I didn't bother to look anything up because I knew I was going to read it. It's called The Only One Left. I did not know the plot of this book until after I bought it and I started reading it. I never did read the synopsis. And it is inspired very loosely by a true crime case that I actually am very familiar with, the Lizzie Borden murder case. I had been interested, feels like the wrong word, but yeah, interested in this case since I seen a sort of inspired by episode of Smart Guy back in the day. And I was so excited going into this book, and I did enjoy it. In the end, I only gave it about 3.5 stars. It's definitely not my favorite Riley Sagar book, but again, I enjoyed it, and I'll get into my issues in a minute. So this book is about a caretaker who is going to this old fancy house on the hills where a woman who had been accused of murdering her entire family is living out her later stages in life. She was convicted in the court of public opinion, but no charges were ever put against her for lack of evidence. She's had strokes and suffered from polio as a child, so she is completely paralyzed, only having use of one arm, her left arm, I believe, and she is now typing out her more or less memoirs of telling her truth of what happened that night that her family was killed, where previously she had not spoken about it before. And this new caretaker is coming to care for her, and she is telling her story. We get cuts back and forth between the story she is typing out and then, of course, present day as secrets are being revealed. Now, my main issue is that this doesn't almost feel like a Riley Sagar book, sort of. I think the general population is really going to enjoy this one, especially considering his last couple books were very divisive, very mixed and polarizing. I can see this one being, we'll go with more accepted in terms of plot and character and structure and all that, compared to the other ones took a lot of risk. They went out there, they went crazy, and I appreciate the risk. I appreciate how crazy everything went. Whereas this novel to me just felt more safe. And I really did think it was slow starting off. I didn't understand the character's motivation for a lot of it. Like, this woman, this caretaker, is half terrified of the 70-year-old paralyzed person that she's taking care of. Like, ma'am, I get she's been accused of some terrible, terrible things, but she really, really physically cannot hurt you. And then the ending happens, and Riley Sagar does not disappoint me in that batshit off the walls crazy. Oh, completely my vibe. Love how over the top and dramatic things happen near the end, but it was a little bit late for me. I would have liked that move to the halfway point. One of the twists in this book was a twist I really was hoping from the beginning wouldn't happen. But otherwise, I don't have too many genuine complaints. One example later on, I'm just like, that wouldn't happen. No one would do that. That's not a good plan at all. But I will recommend this book. It is definitely not my favorite in Riley Sagar. If I were to rank them, Lock Every Door is still my favorite. The House Across the Lake, which, again, completely polarizing and divisive. You love it or you hate it. There's barely an in-between. That is, oh, I adore it so very much. Third place, probably going to be The Last Time I Lied. Then we have The Only One Left. This one's probably going to go there. Followed by, I think actually Survive the Night I probably enjoyed more than Home Before Dark. A lot of people love Home Before Dark. It's a lot of people's all-time favorite. Honestly, my favorite thing is The Cover Glows in the Dark. I was not the biggest fan of that one. It didn't go off the rails crazy enough for me. And then whatever that Final Girls one is, dead last. Like, that's the only Riley Sagar that I actually despise. Block that one from my memory. So, still love this author, still love these stories, still goes completely off the walls. It just, the build up didn't have the tropey, fun, bordering on campy, over dramatic, over theatrical kind of stuff that I look for in Riley Sagar books. This was a little bit too serious, a little too slow, the characters a little too confusing in motivations, and not as, let's say, passionate as other characters have been in their choice of actions. But I still really enjoyed this book. I'm happy I read it. I clearly read it in like a day, so I can't really complain too much. All right, that's all I got. I will talk to you later. Bye. What are you doing? Maven, no, leave it. Leave the thing. Please leave Itachi alone. Are you okay back there? Are you alright? This is why I normally film when you're asleep.